Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome to another session of Ask an ECE. With the holiday season approaching, I thought it would be a great time to talk about some activities that you can do with your children to engage with them while they may be home for the holidays. Now, if your little one is obviously already home with you, these may be some great activities that you can also incorporate your older children to have fun with as well at home. And these are a lot of items that you may already have and some items that you can find outside. So let's start off with the first activity. The first activity that we're going to talk about is wreath lacing. So what you're going to need for this activity is a simple disposable paper plate, and as well you can add some decorating components such as markers, stickers, crayons, if you have paint. Have your child decorate their wreath. So right over here, I've just decorated it with a bow and some greenery. And then what you want to do is hole punch around your paper plate, and that's going to make the part of your wreath where your child is going to lace through. Now, for the next step, when they're going to be lacing through, they can use anything such as string. I have a shoelace right here. You can use pipe cleaner. So it's a fun activity. You can ask your child to decorate their wreath, and then they can have fun with lacing it through. Now, this is a great activity because not only will your child be doing a fun creative experience by decorating their wreath, they're also going to be practicing some great skills that are going to be useful when they are learning how to tie their shoelaces. It's great for hand-eye coordination as well as practicing their fine motor skills. Lacing is a great activity to do with your little ones, and it can start as early as 2, maybe 3 years old. And if your child is still not able to understand the concept of lacing, it is a great introductory, so you can just show your child how it's done, and eventually when they're able to, they're going to want to explore and try it out on their own. So once you are done with your child lacing up the wreath all the way around, you can use the hole at the top and add a little string, and you can hang it on as a little holiday decoration. The next activity we have is another version of the wreath decoration. So again, we have the paper plate. We have a cute little gingerbread man here that Miss Michaela graciously drew onto here. And this time, if you don't have any shoelaces, I do have some pipe cleaners here that you can use, but any string you have at home will do. You can also use yarn. So we have a little bit of some glittery pipe cleaner here, so you can ask your child to weave it through. Now, this is only one pipe cleaner, but you might want to add in 2. And again, it makes for a great decoration or a great homemade gift that your child may want to give to a loved one. You can, again, put a string at the top, and you can hang it around your house for some great seasonal decorations. Now, the next activity is something that all you need is a cookie sheet that you probably have sitting in your oven already, some construction paper. Now, for this part of the activity, we're going to make a Christmas tree. So what you want to do is take your green construction paper and cut out the tree into the construction paper into the shape of the tree. And then what you want to do as well is write down, you can either do numbers, so I've written the numbers 1 to 9, you can do 1 to 10, you can do the alphabet if you'd like, so you can do the letters A to M, or you can also do the letters of your child's name. So once you've done that, then you cut in rows out the construction paper so that they turn into rows, just like this. So as an activity, you can mix up the rows and then have your child put it together almost like a puzzle. But it's a great learning experience because you can ask your child to put it in the sequence of, let's say if you have numbers, you can ask them, can you place the rows from 1 to 10? And once they've completed it, they will see that they've made up their little Christmas tree. And I find that this is a great activity as well if you add in the letters of their name. So it's a great way for your child to recognize the letters of their names, and you can also talk about it. And you can also play this activity in different ways. So you can write the numbers on one side, and then you can also write the letters of their name on the other side. And this is another activity as well that you can do with other types of pictures. So you can cut out a snowman, you can cut out a gingerbread man and have them put it together like a puzzle, but add in some numbers and letters for some sequencing, some patterns, and it's a great fun activity where they're also learning as well. So with that, I also have another activity where you're going to be incorporating a tree out of construction paper. So it is the same concept. You can have your child or yourself cut out the tree, and then what you can do here, I've added some numbers onto the tree, whereas you can also add the letters of the alphabet, or again, you can use the letters of their name. And then what you also want to have is some pom-poms, or if you don't have pom-poms at home, you can use whatever you may have at home, some stickers. If you don't have that, you can also use markers or crayons where they can point out what they're looking for. So once you have the letters or the numbers, I just have the number 1 to 4 over here, but you can add as many as you like. Then you can ask your child to decorate their own tree. So here I have the pom-poms, they're different colors. And where the learning experience comes with this is you can ask your children, can you decorate the purple pom-pom onto the number 1? And so your child will find the number 1 and they will place it onto their tree. Then you can ask them, can you find your orange pom-pom and put it on the number 2? And again, your child will identify the number 2 and put their pom-pom onto it. And again, it's great to start at any age. So whether your child is just learning the numbers or the alphabets, or even if they're a little wee one, it's a great way for them to get familiar with the numbers and letters, and also the letters in their name. And as well, it's a great creative experience where you could just ask your child to decorate their own tree, but using different components that also make for a good sensory. So pom-poms are great because it's nice and soft and furry, but you can also add in some crayons and markers, so they can really have a whole of decorating however they like. But adding the numbers and letters is a great way to keep their minds and brains engaged and incorporate some fun while they're learning. Okay, so another activity that you can do is the next time you're outside for a wintry walk, I always like to say to try to see if you find any natural resources that you can find on the ground. And one item that is sure to be found around this time or around the fall time are pine cones. So this is so great to have around the house because you can use this for crafts, but you can also use it as an item for sensory and discovery. So you might have seen in my past lives that I'm always incorporating the magnifying glass that you can find at your local dollar store. But again, if you don't have that, that's totally okay. Just add some natural items. So I have a stick here, twig, pine cone. You can add some cinnamon sticks. You can add some pine clippings or evergreens. And these are just some winter smells that are a great little simple but fun sensory that your child can do. And once your child is done exploring the sensory components of their natural items that they find, then you can also reuse natural items by making a fun, creative item with it. So here we have a pine cone that has been decorated. They can add a little string at the top or a pipe cleaner, and they can hang it on your tree or anywhere they like. So it's a great way to teach them to identify the different resources that we have outside during the winter season. They can explore with their senses. They can talk about what they smell. You can talk about with them how it feels and what it looks like. And if you've seen before, pine cones are a great way to make some fun pine cone animals. You can make a reindeer or an owl. It's a great way for your child to use their imagination. Now, another fun activity that I wanted to talk about is a great activity if you may have some older siblings at home for the holidays, and so they're going to be off of school for the next 2 weeks. So this is something you can do with a large piece of paper. You can either place this onto the floor where your child can write, you can hang it onto the wall, tape it on the wall, or right over here I just happen to have a pad of paper, and what I've done is I've had the child paint on a gingerbread man, and I've incorporated some letters. You can also incorporate some numbers if you like, and it's a great way to tell your child that they can go ahead and decorate their own gingerbread man. So I've included some just cut out things from construction paper, and you can ask them if they'd like to decorate their gingerbread man. So this is just a great way for them to have a fun activity. You may have decorated a gingerbread cookie, but this is a great life-size activity that also some of your older children may want to partake in. So you can go, I've just stuck some tape on the back, but you can use sticky tack. If you don't have any cutouts, you can simply use some crayons or markers, and they can go ahead and decorate it that way. I have a little pom-pom here, and your child can stick the nose on. And of course, this is just a fun, creative activity that they can use their imagination. So I have a fun cutout here they can use as a scarf. And with the letters that I've written on here, you can ask your child again to identify the letters that they might be able to see from their name, or you can put the numbers. You can also give them a little crayon or pencil, and you can ask them, can you find the letter E? And then ask them to circle around the E. So not only will they be having fun decorating their own little gingerbread man, but you'll be able to incorporate some letters and numbers for your child to start beginning to identify them. But if they already know their letters and numbers, you can also color in with a marker or crayon different colors, and then you can point out to them the colors and have them show you, can you show me the color purple? Can you show me the color orange? And it's a great way for you and your child to communicate with each other, practice their literacy and vocabulary as well. And you can also do this with different pictures. You can ask them if they'd like to add a life-size winter holiday character, so a snowman. You can have them draw a big giant tree, and again, the same concept. You can have them decorate their big tree or their big snowman, and again, you can include those letters and numbers. Now, the next item I wanted to show is something that you probably have lying around at home. So you might have some wrapping paper lying around just from wrapping presents, but if you don't have that, you may have some newspaper or some scrap paper. But during the holiday season, because you're more often than not probably wrapping some gifts, you can include your child with this process that they can have fun in their own way. So having your child practice cutting at an early age is a great skill to have, because these are skills that they're going to need when they do go off to school and as they get older. So you could do one of two things. You can have the extra wrapping paper, or it can be paper, whatever paper you may have that you might want to reuse or before you recycle it. And you can draw a line or a pattern or a squiggly line, and just offer some child-sized scissors for your child and just ask them to start cutting away. Now, you can also add a cardboard box and some tape with supervision, of course, and you can, while you're wrapping your presents, they might want to pretend that they're wrapping along with you. Now, this is great because it doesn't just have to be seasonal. Again, this is a great activity you can do with your child with just simple paper, some newspaper, just the simple concept of your child using scissors and cutting is a great fine motor skill. They are, again, practicing their hand and eye coordination, and it's also fun because your child is going to feel like they are creating some independence within them. They're going to feel proud with what they've cut. So that's a great simple activity that you can incorporate at home. And the next few items I wanted to mention are just some few ideas that you can do as a family as a whole. So whether that be with your younger children and your older children, and with everybody in the family, it's a great thing to incorporate. So if you might have some winter books lying around, this is a great time to read as a family what might be going on in the books. Even if your child is not able to identify the letters or the words in the book, reading to them the story or pointing out what they see in the book is a great way for your child to identify new things and identify new words. So you have the snowflakes here. You can talk about the color. What color do you see? I see the color blue and I see the color white. Snowflake. What letter starts with the word snowflake? I wonder. And in that way, you can have your child identify the different letters that they see within the book. I have here a smaller book that you can use for your wee little ones, and they are just simple picture books with just the word on it. So again, if your child is unable to identify the letters yet, it's a great way to talk about it with your child so that later on when they're able to understand more, they'll be able to easily identify the letters as well as the pictures. And the next time you're out for a walk, they might be able to identify what they see. I see snow, I see icicles on the tree. So any amount of reading with your child, especially around this season, is great to incorporate a way for your child to identify what they see outside, whether you're out for a walk or whether they're looking out the window. The next activity I wanted to show you is a great thing you can do as a whole family. Now, I have some components that we just picked up at the dollar store. So over here we have a little branch-like, oopsie daisies. We have a little branch-like stick, and let's see if it'll stick up here. Or perhaps I'll just hold it. There you go. You might be able to find a branch too if you have any lying around. It doesn't really matter the size, but you can take the branch and have your child decorate. Now, the components that we have on here actually are not natural, but this is a great way to incorporate those pine cones that you might find, some evergreen that you may have outside, and then what you want to add is some string, and if you have some clothes hangers as well, it's a great way for your child to be able to hang some pictures that they draw over the holiday season. If you take some pictures during this time together, it's a great way to hang it. Now, something that I've done with my child is I've had us write down some winter activities that we want to experience. So we clip it on to our little hanging there, and as we go out for the month of December, we take something that we've written on off of the clothes hanger and read it and open it, and it can be something as simple as playing in the snow, building a snowman, or while there's no snow outside, it can be find a pine cone outside. And so there's a plethora of things that you can make with this, but it's a great way to add a family memory. So it's a great, beautiful hanging that you can do on your wall, something you can create during the holiday season, and it's whatever you'd like to make out of it. So over here we've added some pictures of our families and friends, and so that's just a great, simple activity that you can do with your family that costs less than $5. Now, the last few activities I wanted to talk about are just activities that you can do again as a family, and they're simple ideas that you can incorporate while teaching your children the joys of giving. So one thing that you can do is have your children create some cards. They can draw a picture, and then you can write a thoughtful note on it if you like, and have your child sign if they're older children or your little ones, again, drawing a picture. And you can just leave that in your mailbox for your delivery drivers and your postman. Just a thoughtful way for your child to learn how you can appreciate those around you, those of service to you, those in your community. And it's just a simple way where you don't even have to spend any money. Just draw a picture to make a simple card, and you can give it to a neighbor. You could drop it off on their porch, and it's just a nice gesture that you can do during this holiday season. And again, with the memory hanging that I showed you, with activities that you may want to do, you can also draw on a piece of paper some good deeds. So that goes along with leaving out a card for your delivery man or woman, or your postman or woman, and you can add in some good deeds that you'd like to do over the season. This is a great thing to do as well if you want to add in some things that you might want to do as a family in the new year. So that can be collecting some items that you can donate to the community in need, whether that be finding some gentle used clothing that you can donate to a shelter. And this is a great activity that you can teach children very young age, and it's a great concept that they can learn as they grow older. And that wraps up all our activities that I wanted to talk about today. If there's any fun activities that you plan on doing during this holiday season, or even some activities that you may want to share with the rest of our families of the early on, please feel free to leave those activities down in the comments below. And thank you for joining us for another Ask an ECE. We'll see you again soon. Bye.